Hello again and good afternoon, freelance teacher family. I've been getting messages and information and hints and views about the stuff I've been learning about Uber as I'm trying to do the entrepreneurial space and get into the what is maybe called the Airbnb economy. This is part 2 of the Uber talk. I just came from the leasing company and got some information for you, other things about Uber NYC getting started as a driver, because I'm going to take a shot at it. And like I said in the first one, I'd like to see what the deal is all about, and I can always drop it if it's not okay. And it's one of those things where having a choice is what you like. That's the way things ought to be. But I asked a couple of questions, and if you sign up and go through all the things we talked about with the TLC licensing and getting the fingerprinting and the drug test, right, you're going to be out in the neighborhood of $500. It's going to take about, at quickest, it's going to take 5 weeks for the whole thing. Took me about 10. 2.5 of those weeks were my fault that it was slow. So let's say 6 weeks. 6 weeks is basically the minimum from when you walk into an Uber office until you have your license. Now, I was told once you get your license, come see us. What they didn't tell me was once you get a car, you should then go and get to Uber and say, I have my TLC vehicle, I'm ready to be a partner. So that's why that trip I had done, I wasted my time because I got my TLC license. When I got a chance to go down to Uber on a weekend, I went down and they gave me the information that I already had to go lease a vehicle. So once you get your TLC license, go to a rental place near you that partners with Uber. That's key. Don't go to other ones because the specials that are part of the Uber incentive have to be with the people they partner with. The one I am with is American Leasing. I'm up in the Bronx by 170th Street. And so once you get your vehicle, then you sign up with Uber. So I'll hear from these people in about 10 days to 2 weeks because there's going to be a delay. Once you go to the leasing place, as of now, and this is early October, mid-October 2016, every place I spoke with, and I called them all, you're looking at best waiting a week, but it's probably going to be 10 days to 2 weeks before you get a call and say, come pick up your TLC plated vehicle. What is it going to cost you? Rentals are about $400 a week. I see ads for $300 a week. I don't know where that's coming from. A rental vehicle, TLC rental, is going to be $400 a week. For like a Camry, a lower end Toyota, Hyundai, again about $400. The Avalon will be $415, $420. They're a little bit bigger. They've got the better interior, a little bit more luxurious. So those figures are per week. That's $400. Now Uber, through a partner, you can rent for the first 2 weeks with a certain number of rides. And that's the number you need to look at. Can you do it? A certain number of rides. In those 2 weeks, you get $700 credited to your account. Now, when I get to that stage, I'll talk to you again. But right now, it's not, okay, rent in the first 2 weeks, they'll just slam $700 in there. There's a minimum amount of rides that you need to give. So from what I can tell, it's in the neighborhood of, I want to say, between 30 and 40 a week, but I'll be more specific later. And the key really is to look at the terms, right? Because sometimes these terms change. So look at the terms, number of rides per week or over 2 weeks. And if you do it over 2 weeks, they'll put $700 in your account. Tuesday apparently is payday. That's how Uber does its thing, at least with American Leasing. So the other option is you can lease to own, and then your weekly payment will be around $300, ballpark, plus or minus. I've seen high 200s and low 300s for lease to own with Uber. Let me rephrase. With the leasing company that is a partner with Uber, right? Because you're renting from Tower, or I'm with American Leasing up here in the Bronx, right? There's a bunch of places in Queens, in Long Island City that are also Uber partners. So you can lease to own, and here's a good thing that this place offers. If you've rented with them over the past 6 months, and you decide to lease to own, which will lower your weekly payment, the previous 6 months will be prorated and put into your account, and you can actually have that money put towards the price that you're paying to own. The difference is, as a renter, maintenance and upkeep is paid. All you're responsible for as a renter, to the tune of $400 a week, is gas. All the other stuff they take care of. When you switch to lease to own, that changes. You're now responsible for maintenance and upkeep, and what you're doing is you're paying out of pocket for that kind of thing, but your weekly payment is much less. So what you're talking about is a difference in, you're basically going to be crunching the numbers. You're paying less lease to own, you're going to own it at the end, and then what you're going to do is have your own vehicle, which, if the Uber thing is working out, having your own vehicle really seems to be the way to go, but I'll get there at some point if I decide. I haven't gotten there yet. Last bit of information that's good to know: if you do a lease to own, and after you have finished the payment section, right, you now own it, what happens? Well, if you want, you can have their plates taken off and you handle the insurance and replating it as a TLC vehicle. The other option is you keep their plates on and you pay them $200 a week, and you keep their plates on, and that in effect is paying the insurance of the car. The insurance stays on the car via those plates, right? The insurance is stuck to those plates and the car is insured, and you pay, in my case, if I stay with American Leasing, I pay American Leasing $200 a week in effect for insurance. So then it becomes a case of how much is it going to cost to plate it on my own and get the insurance on my own, and insurance rates are higher as a commercial vehicle, as a TLC vehicle. So these are things I've found out. I am now on the waiting list, about, I would guess, about 10 days, and then I'll hear from American Leasing about getting the car. And then I'll actually, once I get it, I'll instantly, as quickly as I can, go down to Uber and start as a partner and fill you in what I know. This is Doug Marola, the freelance teacher, and I'm in New York City trying out the Uber thing. This is video number 2. And as soon as I learn more, I'll share it with you in video number 3. Have a great afternoon.